You are Chanel and Mia. So what does this say? Are this the people who will push Joshua?
Yeah, Miss Berry holds it and
Right.
then he grabs the one he wants and then they call the person that he wants.
So you are chosen for today.
Joshua is joyful. He's very outgoing. It's very nice to play with him.
We have 471 students at the school, approximately 50 staff members, and then we have 12 EAs. Our school is made up of children that speak many different languages. When we're talking about special needs, in the school itself, it would be about maybe 5%, I guess, of children who have some kind of designated need.
Now I can see her, Joshua, I can see him listening. Let's see if we can wake him up a little bit. Waddly-at-cha, waddly-at-cha, doodly-doo. I like this, I like this, doodly-doodly-doo. Oh, that's woken him up. Can we wake him up a little bit more?
It's really important when we think from British Columbia and a Singaporean perspective that we don't separate inclusion of kids with diverse abilities from our cultural diversity at the same time. Let's give an example. When kids get a chance to bring an artifact from home in to share, we know that welcomes all kids' cultural backgrounds. It is both welcoming every child's fund of knowledge, but it's also suggesting that we learn more or understand better by seeing every kid's example. Why would a student with a really significant disability not be able to bring something in from their lives that relates to that learning?
What do you think he's saying now?
Maybe he wants to go back.
So you understand what he's trying to communicate?
If we sing a song like, let's say, Baby Shark, if he faces towards us and crawls, that means he gets the attention.
So that's really great. You are really learning to read all the non-verbals.
All right, well, boys and girls, should we get started? What I thought we would do is we have some birthdays today.
Some other kids in the class really don't play with Joshua, but a lot of kids do.
Why do you think those other kids do not play with Joshua?
I don't think they have time or they really don't feel like it. It is pretty fun. Maybe if they try, they may like it.
But you're setting very good examples.
As far as having it in the classroom go, it's that empathy piece, right? And it's kids who may feel uncomfortable with children with special needs, and there's lots of reasons for that. It's a teachable moment.
So we have something called demystification, which is how we explain to children what's going on, so they are not afraid or worried. We had a little fella who was FASD, so he had brain damage. And his behaviors were really quite problematic. And he had his counselor come in and do a demystification for the whole class. And they all drew a brain and they talked about how brains are different. And this little boy was able to articulate, my brain's different and I do this and I do that. So there was this open conversation about it. We do it respectfully with the permission of the parents. So that's one of the ways we build the relationships with children.
Sometimes, if we have two books from the library, we do hold both of them in each hand, and then we're saying which one do you want, and the one
So he chooses?
Yeah, and then we're gonna read it.
So we wouldn't just put him up there and just hope for the best. We would not just have him paint because the other kids are painting. Yes, we are all painting, that's true, but his education is making the choice between red and green, and then once he's made that choice, then we can go ahead and do that. So he's being taught at his level, but he's included within the classroom.
I think that it's time for us to go. I don't know.
There were so many things, I think, so many good examples of what inclusion is here and what inclusion can be in Singapore. What really stood out was the consistency of language used, words used by the school leader, the teachers, the children, the educational assistants, that everyone is important. Everyone has a place, everyone is included.
Yes, and I think a lot of that starts with the leader. I mean, we saw how Diane builds that culture with all the posters around the school. There is this whole culture of just accepting diversity, of also knowing where to get help, of knowing how to communicate with people who are different.
Inclusion sounds like peace. Inclusion is important because everyone should feel like they finally belong in our world. Inclusion is about people who always find a way to solve conflict. Inclusion is about joining forces who work together. Inclusion is about friendship. When you use the word inclusion, there is no such thing as normal, because everyone is unique in their own wonderful way. No one should ever feel left out, ever.